Good morning, everyone. My name is Shannon Wilson. I am the procurement coordinator for the HVAC Buy program. And we're just going to go over a short presentation of who we are and what we do. And my clicker is not working. Okay. On this page, we talk about HVAC Buy. We are a nationwide cooperative purchasing program operated by the Houston Galveston Area Council of Governments. We are a contracted funded program. We have over 800 contractors, 40 plus major product categories. And in 2020, we made about 5.8 million in total products purchased. To the right-hand side of the screen, I think it's, yes, to this side of the screen, my disappearing hand, guys. You'll see some of the partnerships we have. We are members of the Professional Association for Corporate Procurement, the Institute for Public Procurement, and the National Procurement Institute. On here, we have, on this page, you'll see some of the members we service here to the right-hand side: Judicial Courts and Districts, Emergency Communication District, Council of Government, airports, hospitals, colleges, volunteer fire departments, as well as fire departments. And to the left-hand side, we are members of the Mid-America Regional, Baltimore Regional, and the SAG. And we just became members of the Municipal Association of South Carolina. On this page, you'll see some of the benefits that you can present to the members. We offer better pricing as a result of volume discounts. We offer soft cost savings. It's a more efficient use of time and resources. Instead of them having to go out and do the bid themselves, we actually are the middle guy and we do that for them. We satisfy all the state statute requirements for competitive bids, and we have a repository for all of our solicitation documents. And you can find that on our website, hvacbuy.org. We also offer financial assistance through the Houston Galveston Area Local Development Cooperation. And we have financial resources for Texas vendors. And we also have financial resources for Texas members, which is the Business Loan Fund. Today, we're going to have global environment products from 10:15 to 10:25. Timco will do a presentation from 10:25 to 10:35, and then Nilsfis from 10:35 to 10:45, and then we'll do a Q&A, and then we'll close it out at 12. Here are some very important contacts for our program. Ms. LaWanda James, who is on the call, she's our procurement services lead. Here's her information. And I think, will somebody drop that in the chat too? Ms. Marlena Mack, who's also on the call, she's customer relations. And then we have Mr. Isaac Perez, who's our loan coordinator. And then our membership coordinator is Ms. Stephanie Yui. And I'm going to pass it back to Nicolette or Joshua.
Wonderful, Sandra. Thank you for that presentation.
Yes. So as she said earlier, like, you know, a couple of people are members in the call, but if you're not members, we dropped some links in the chat for you to be able to look up your membership status. You can talk to Stephanie Huey about that, as she said as well. And you can also like become a member using that link. And it shows you step-by-step how to do that. There's links in there for FEMA funds. I believe Josh dropped that as well for more information about that. And I think we may have forgotten to mention this, but if you are members of like SACOG or MARC or BRCPC, you also are already members of HGAC Buy, so you do not have to go through that ILC process. But yes, like, good job, Shantra. Yay, everybody give her a round of applause. Yes. And we're going to move on to our first presenter. And as she said, that should be Global Environmental Products, Mr. Jason Condon.
Hey, get this going here. Is the screen share working there?
Yes, sir.
Great. I appreciate the time and the opportunity to speak to everyone this morning. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about my company, Global Environmental Products. We are a provider of full-size Class 6 and Class 7 street sweepers. We're a little unique in the industry in that we design, engineer, and manufacture our products from the ground up at our factory, which is headquartered in San Bernardino, California. So we're a little different from a lot of sweeper manufacturers in that we're not mounting on commercial truck chassis. We actually are more or less an automotive manufacturer. It's just everything is purpose built, specifically designed for street sweeping. And as a result of that, we've had the ability to really kind of be at the forefront of alternative fuels, dating back years ago, leader in CNG, compressed natural gas vehicles, and developed our products as more resources have become available in terms of environmentally friendly products for sweeping. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. We've partnered with another company in California, not far from where we're located, just outside of Los Angeles, called US Hybrid. Global Sweepers has two of the larger contracts in North America for street sweeping, New York City Sanitation and Caltrans, basically California Department of Transportation. And both entities really were pushing us years ago to look for environmentally friendly alternatives for their sweepers. Their idea was they needed to reduce the carbon footprint, obviously. So we partnered with US Hybrid going back about 13, 14 years ago and started work on a hybrid sweeper for New York City. So basically using a diesel engine with electric motors that move hydraulic systems for the sweep gear and electric motors that are powering the machine down the road. In doing this, they performed a study and found that roughly 85% of the fuel consumption, or I'm sorry, 85% of the time was spent sweeping, 15% of the time was spent driving the machine. So that made it a perfect candidate for looking at this hybrid technology. Over the years, we've kind of worked on it, and as battery and technology has improved, the products improved. The result is basically a hybrid street sweeper that New York has been using now for a number of years, and is available on contract that leads to roughly a 50% fuel savings and almost a 60% savings or a reduction in greenhouse gases. So your emissions is much lower. That evolved into a product that we designed, engineered, and built for Caltrans that has been in testing for a number of years now. And that is a completely zero emissions machine. It's a hydrogen fuel cell sweeper. And as California is looking at a hydrogen corridor basically for their streets departments up and down the state, this is something that they're very interested in. But again, this is literally no engine. It's a hydrogen fuel cell machine. The only byproduct of this is pure water. It's roughly 43 gallons of water is produced in a 9-hour shift, and we actually pipe that right back into the water system on the sweeper. And they can use that for dust suppression in the atmosphere as they're sweeping. So we do build all of our machines as either mechanical or regenerative air sweepers. And we do have one product that is chassis mounted, that's a pure vacuum machine. So we do have a full array of different types of sweepers. We do have the ability to either have rear dump machines or high side dump machines. The obvious benefit of taking an engine out of the sweeper is it reduces the noise considerably. So for early morning sweeping in downtown areas or highly populated areas, it's very beneficial, and obviously zero emissions, so extremely environmentally friendly. Again, capable of highway speeds up to 65 miles an hour, and then you can sweep up to 12 miles an hour with this machine. And our most recent addition for our sweeping lineup for environmentally friendly products is a machine that we've kind of taken the next step with the hybrid, and that is a fully electric sweeper now. This has really kind of been pushed by New York City Sanitation. They have a goal of reducing their emissions, I believe it's 50% by 2028. They have a large sweeper fleet, so they're very interested in converting as much of their fleet to this type of a product as possible. It's available as either a Class 7 street sweeper, or we do offer it in our 3-wheel platform, which is under the 26,000 GVW, so Class 6 sweeper. But this, again, no engine, strictly batteries, charges in basically 9 hours, and you can sweep for 9 to 11 hours with it. Again, available on contract right now. Available as both a mechanical and a regenerative air product. So whether you have an application that requires a mechanical sweeper or an air sweeper, we can offer it again as either a compressed natural gas, a diesel electric hybrid, a hydrogen fuel cell, or a fully electric sweeper. And obviously still available as standard diesel units as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just play a real quick video here, just kind of give you an idea of what our machines look like as they're sweeping, and see some of the products in action. Part of the advantages of a purpose-built platform is maneuverability, and that's something we really focus on in these videos here. But the ability to get into tight areas, in and out of parked cars, corners, cul-de-sacs, that kind of thing. So perfect application is downtown municipal settings, business districts. You'll notice we have a single operator station in the center of the cab, so visibility on these machines are excellent. It's a cab over design, very safe machine to operate. Great sight lines to not only the debris field, but your oncoming traffic and pedestrians. We have a number of different options that we can do. This one's demonstrating a front brush attachment that we've put on it. And this is our straight vacuum machine. That's the only machine that we do that's actually a chassis mounted machine. So, our regenerative air sweeper. Okay. Appreciate the opportunity to show the products off. Thank you very much.
All right, Jason, that was some incredible technology. Would you mind dropping your information down in the chat box below? I don't believe that was on any of your slides, your email address or phone number.
Sure thing, will do.
All right, give Jason a round of applause, y'all.
Thank you.
I don't know if this was mentioned earlier, but towards the end of our presentations, we will have breakout rooms for each vendor if you wanted to talk to them in a one-on-one setting. All right, next.
For Jason, in the demonstration, which brushes were those? Were they steel or plastic?
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
The truck that was shown in the presentation, were those bristles steel?
So the side brooms are steel, and then the center broom, the main pickup broom, is a poly broom, a plastic broom.
Okay. I think Mr. Ronnie Barnes had his hand raised for a question as well.
Yes, sir.
No question. He answered. I had this exact same question about the brushes. So thanks.
Yep.
Thank you.
And we do a polywire mix on the main broom, and I believe there are poly brooms that are available out there. So there's a bunch of different manufacturers of brooms that produce brooms that will fit our machines. So we can kind of customize stuff as required.
All right. And now, Jason, I have one question. I guess since you guys are based out of California, like you said, that's why you guys have targeted such incredible green technology because of their regulations.
That and as I said, New York sanitation, obviously, New York City is a very populated area, and they have a lot of pressure and interest in reducing greenhouse gases there. So they started years ago with compressed natural gas, and obviously the infrastructure that's required for CNG, the different stations and whatnot, didn't make it ideal. It was a nice first step, but being able to do the hybrid version and now fully electric, obviously, lends itself to not having to have that huge investment in the infrastructure of the compressed natural gas. So that really kind of was forward thinking and very progressive of them to kind of early on pressure us, push us in that direction. But yeah, so being in California, Southern California, obviously they've don't really do any diesel down there. CNG has been huge for years there as well. And they've really jumped on board with both the hydrogen fuel cell and now the fully electric vehicles as well.
All right, some really good information there. Next up, we have Miss Julie Mercer and Tina Barthel with Nilfisk.
Are you going to open my presentation or should I?
I'm sorry, Julie, were you talking to me or?
Should I share my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is everybody able to see the great HGAC buy banner?
Yes, and we love it.
Make a center of attraction. Wanted to just introduce myself. My name is Julie Mercer. I'm the government account manager for Nilfisk Advance. And I've been with Advance going on 18 years right now, and we've been members of HGAC for quite some time. Tina Barthel, she is our government contracts administrator. And so we do a lot of quoting for HGAC. We've had a great partnership, and we've been meeting with Neil Whitty for years and years, which has been a good thing. So I'm going to begin now by going into some of our products. Hopefully it'll move. And I'm not getting it to move now. There we go. We have a lot of large indoor and outdoor sweepers and scrubbers available on the contract. Well, when my predecessor was talking about his types of different kinds of hybrid, we also have had hybrid for years. And we have it in a sweeper scrubber. It's a 61-inch sweep path. And it even has a pressure washer mounted on the unit for inaccessible areas where the actual unit cannot reach, along with a vacuum wand to keep any depository solution from going down a sanitary drain. We offer gas, LP, diesel in hybrid, which is electrical power, which creates less maintenance on the unit. And we have a variety of different items that are for safety of the personnel and operator using the equipment. Also, we offer an Advance SW8000, which can be available with or without a cab. And again, we come in gas, LP, diesel. We have a dust guard, which is very similar, which is a spray fog side brush system to alleviate hazardous airborne dust. Oftentimes when we start looking at parking decks, that kind of thing, they have a lot of carbon black, or if you're looking at like transit facilities, they have a lot of carbon black. So it's important to make sure that we're protecting the personnel and operators while they're using the equipment. One of the key elements we've noticed is a lot of times people have manuals, they lose the manuals or they don't read the manuals. Everybody's all about what's online on a computer on their phone. So what we did is we developed a system which is called Nilfisk University. What it does is it allows you access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you have a new operator that comes in, they can sit down, watch a video, take a test, and we will send to the primary of the company the certification of actual completion. That way, if there's a workman comp issue, they have actual registry paperwork that will show that there was safety training and operator use and care training for the equipment. And one other thing is oftentimes when you have something that has like an error code or something that goes wrong with the unit, and you can email the manual to somebody and actually designate what page so that they can go through and systematically remove the error code. Sometimes it's as easy as just taking and turning the key off, pushing a button, and turning the key back on. That prevents a lot of maintenance and tech service calls to us as a company. Also, we have wall charts with the machines so that they have pictorial wall charts so that they can go through the system and know how to start the unit, how to fill the unit, how to drain the unit, and how to dump the unit. So it's an enhanced learning experience that makes it very easy for the operators and also for the mechanics to know what needs to be done on the equipment. Oops, wrong way. In addition, we have best-in-class service and warranty on our equipment. All our technicians go through a certified structured training class on each and every piece of our equipment. We have a national network of 400 technicians. We also have dealers that are certified on our equipment. So it allows for us to encompass the whole entire United States and maintain our equipment to the level that the end user customer requires. One of the things too is we have warranties. They vary from machine to machine, but oftentimes you need to look at and determine what is the warranty left on my machine. We also have a capability of checking that online so that you know what is covered and how long a period of time that is covered. On these machines, they're made in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, so they're US made. And that's one of the key criterion for a lot of government agencies, that they're looking to make sure that they have equipment that they can get parts and service for. Our contact information, as I said, Tina Barthel, she's our government contracts administrator. If you need information as to what product would best match your application, I can help you with that. And then we also have local regional managers as well as dealers that can come take a look at your application and know the best machine for your use and needs. There's a lot of options, so those are things that we can review with your team and any customers. Any questions, please let us know.
All right, Julie, some wonderful information. Let's give her a round of applause, y'all. Julie, I had one question. So you guys have your own service technicians, which is really impressive. How is the turnaround for, I guess, submitting requests and having your equipment worked on?
We have a 1-800 number, and principally we're looking at usually within a 24-hour period of getting somebody out to your location. We usually check to make sure what time element that is best suited for the customer and try to work around that, because oftentimes with the COVID, you have to know how you get access and where you go and those kind of things. So we try to work through that part of the equation before we actually arrive.
Okay, makes sense. All right, did anybody have any questions for Miss Julie, or was that just me? All right, well, thank you, Julie. We're gonna move on to Mr. Stephen Cal. I'm just gonna probably mess it up, sir.
Cavillo.
Thank you, Mr. Stephen Calillo with Timco.
You got it. All right, let me share my PowerPoint here. All right, so as Joshua said, I'm Stephen Calvillo with Timco Incorporated here in Waco, Texas. I've been with Timco for about 13 and a half years. Timco was founded in the mid 1960s, and it started out with three brothers, FM, RT, and BW Young, with Young Brothers Construction. They were road contractors and starting in post-World War II. And one of the brothers, BW Young, was an inventor, and he invented slurry seal and the slurry seal process and the slurry seal machine, so slurry seal is a process of using emulsified asphalt to patch roads. And in order for slurry seal to bond to the street, he needed a clean surface. And broom sweepers at the time couldn't penetrate the cracks and potholes of the street, so he invented this air sweeper. And this is an early, circa 1996 original airflow truck that BW designed. And eventually, Timco became a subsidiary of Young Brothers and then branched off from Young Brothers as its own separate company. BW died in, I believe, 1972, and his wife and sons took over the company. And Timco is still a family-owned company with about 150 employees, and we have about 50 dealers all over the U.S. So the only sweeper that Timco manufactures is the Regenerator sweeper, which is what BW invented. And the way it works is that there's a blower wheel which forces air down into the pickup head, and a blast of air goes across the entire width of the pickup head and acts as a chisel onto the street surface. And then that air is suspended within the pickup head and then is sucked up into the hopper. And the larger volume of the hopper causes the heavier material to fall down, and the air slows down. And then there's a screen that prevents things like plastic bags and leaves from entering the centrifugal dust separator. The centrifugal dust separator separates the dust and leaves it in the hopper before the cleaned air is returned to the blower wheel. So it's a closed loop system. Here are our street and airport sweepers. These are our larger sweepers. So our most popular one is the Model 600. It's powered by a 99 horsepower John Deere engine. It has a 7.3 cubic yard hopper. And then we have different versions of the Model 600. So we have a CNG, which we've been involved with alternative fuel since 1984, starting with propane, and then since 1992 we've been doing compressed natural gas on our sweepers. And then we have the Model 500X, which is a 5.7 cubic yard hopper, powered by a 115 horsepower John Deere engine, and it is a high dumping sweeper, so you can dump to a dump truck, so you don't have to go back and forth to a dump site. Both of 600 and Model 500X can be mounted on a international MV or Freightliner M2 conventional cab chassis, or we also offer a cab over Peterbilt 220 on both the 500X and 600, and then also Autocar both in diesel and CNG, Autocar Expert cab over chassis. We also offer CNG on the Model 500X. And then we have our Model DST6, which is a dustless version of the Model 600, where about 10% of the air that would normally be returned to the pickup head is diverted into a box with MERV 16 filters, which filter out 95% of 0.3 micron size particles and larger. And then we have our Model 500X, which is our airport runway sweeper, which can sweep at up to 15, 20 miles per hour. These are our parking lot and mid-size sweepers. So the Model 210, 210H are our smallest sweeper with about a 2.4 cubic yard hopper. The Model 210H comes on a Ford F350 or an F450. It is a single engine version, so the sweeper portion of the unit is powered by the truck engine. And then the Model 210 is our two engine version. So the sweeper is powered by a 56 horsepower Kubota engine. And that can come on either an Isuzu MPR HT chassis or Ford F-350 or F-450. And then our model 435 is a mid-size sweeper with a 4 cubic yard hopper, also powered by a 56 horsepower Kubota engine. And you can get that on a Isuzu NQR or NPR XD or a Freightliner M2 conventional cab chassis. And then the Model DST4 is the dustless version of the Model 435, similar to the DST6 is to the Model 600. And then we offer a free service school to all Timco customers. We offer about 30 classes per year on any model. It's a 2-day course and offered on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And we provide lunch, and you can register to attend on our website, or I can send you more information. And here's my contact information. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
All right, Stephen, some more information. Let's give him a round of applause, y'all.